Chosen one, within you lies a force so powerful, so magnetic, so radiant that it draws in everything meant for you with effortless ease. This force is not something you must force into existence, nor is it something you must chase. It has always been there, waiting for you to awaken to it, waiting for you to recognize that it is not a burden, but a blessing. Your high sexual energy is not merely attraction, it is abundance itself. Too many men fail to see the power they hold within them. They dismiss it, suppress it, or worse, misuse it. But you, chosen one, must walk a different path. You must own this energy, understand it, and most importantly, use it with intention. Because when you do, the universe responds in ways that most could never comprehend. This energy is not about superficial validation, nor is it simply about being desired. It is about becoming a vessel of abundance in every aspect of your life. It is the force that draws opportunities, relationships, experiences, and success towards you, not because you demand them, but because you embody them. Women feel this energy instinctively. It is not just in your presence, not just in your words, not just in your movements. It is in the very essence of your being. It moves with you, shaping the way others perceive you, influencing the way they respond to you. It makes you unforgettable, not because of what you do, but because of what you are. But abundance is not something to be taken lightly. When the universe begins to pour into you, when women begin to gravitate towards you, when opportunities begin to align with your path, you must be prepared. Because blessings are only as powerful as the hands that receive them. You must hold this energy with care, with respect, with a deep understanding that what is given to you is also a responsibility. This energy does not exist simply for personal gain. It is not meant to be squandered on meaningless pursuits or wasted on those who do not appreciate its worth. It is a gift, chosen one, a force that allows you to create, inspire, lead, and elevate. And so, as you awaken to this power within you, as you step into the abundance that has been waiting for you all along, you must ask yourself, what will I do with it? Will you allow it to control you, to distract you, to pull you into the endless chase of superficial pleasure? Or will you master it, refine it, use it to build something greater than yourself? Will you move through life mindlessly consuming, or will you step into the role of the one who creates? This is your moment of awakening, chosen one. This is the moment you stop seeing your energy as something external, something to be proven, something to be spent, and instead begin to see it as something to be cultivated, to be guarded, to be used as a tool of expansion. Because the truth is, abundance has always been yours. The blessings that are beginning to surround you, the attention that follows you, the presence that captivates, these things are not coincidences. They are the reflection of the power that exists within you. And the moment you own it completely, the moment you stop questioning whether you deserve it, the moment you stop doubting whether it is real, is the moment you step into the full flow of your abundance. This is the beginning, chosen one. And from this moment forward, nothing will ever be the same again. Chosen one, now that you have awakened to the truth of your abundance, now that you see the blessings flowing towards you with a force that cannot be denied, it is time to take the next step. Because abundance without mastery is chaos. Power without discipline is destruction. A gift that is not understood can easily become a burden. You must not only recognize the abundance your energy brings, you must learn to master it. Mastery begins with awareness. Too many men move through life unaware of the impact they have, unaware of the effect they leave on those around them. They waste their energy on fleeting moments, on meaningless validation, on interactions that lead nowhere. They do not realize that their presence shapes the world around them. But you, chosen one, are different. You do not move blindly. You do not give your energy away carelessly. You do not waste your blessings on those who have not earned the privilege of experiencing them. Because the moment you realize that not everyone is worthy of your presence, you step into a new level of power. The blessings you receive are not random. They are not luck. They are the direct response to the energy you radiate. And if you do not manage this energy well, if you do not take care of it, if you do not protect it, it will become diluted, misused, lost. Mastery means learning to choose where your energy goes. It means knowing that just because something is available to you does not mean it is meant for you. It means understanding that abundance does not mean saying yes to everything. It means knowing when to say no. Because the man who says yes to everything values nothing. But the man who is selective, the man who is intentional, the man who knows that his presence is a privilege, he is the man who commands respect, who attracts with an effortless pull, who is pursued rather than pursuing. This is the path of mastery, chosen one. It is the path of self-respect, of discernment, of knowing that the blessings in your life are not just gifts but tools meant to be used wisely. A man who does not master his energy will become lost in it. He will be overwhelmed by the very abundance that was meant to elevate him. He will become addicted to attention, dependent on validation, unable to exist without external approval. He will fall into the trap of believing that his energy is only as valuable as the responses he receives from others. But you, chosen one, must not fall into this trap, because true mastery is not in being desired. It is in being in control of your desire. True mastery is not in receiving attention. It is in choosing when and where to give your attention. True mastery is not in attracting endlessly. It is in knowing which attractions are worth your time. And when you reach this level, when you move with certainty, with clarity, with unshakable purpose, you will notice something profound. The blessings you receive will multiply. The people who come into your life will be of higher quality. The connections you form will be deeper, richer, more aligned with who you truly are. Because when you become a master of your energy, the universe does not just respond to you, it works for you. And that, chosen one, is the ultimate blessing of all. Chosen one, now that you have begun to master your energy, now that you have recognized the flow of abundance moving toward you, now that you see how effortlessly attraction has become part of your reality, you must learn one of the most important lessons of all: the art of receiving without losing yourself. Because abundance, when not handled wisely, can become a distraction. Blessings, when not appreciated with discernment, can become burdens. The attention you now attract, the way women gravitate towards you, the opportunities that seem to multiply in your presence, these things are not just for your pleasure. They are a test of who you are becoming. Many men, when they begin to experience this level of attraction, become consumed by it. They forget why they were chosen in the first place. They lose their foundation, their purpose, their ability to see beyond the immediate gratification of being desired. They fall into the trap of believing that attraction itself is the goal, that receiving endless validation is a sign of success. But that is an illusion, chosen one. Because abundance, when not controlled, will control you. You must remember that what flows towards you is not random. It is a reflection of what you have cultivated within. And so the question is not simply how much you can attract, but how much you can hold without letting it define you. There will be women who seek your presence not because they appreciate who you are, but because they crave your energy. There will be people who want to be near you, not because they respect you, but because they want to feed off your light. There will be moments when it feels as if the world is at your feet. And in those moments, you must remind yourself that not everything that comes to you is meant for you. The greatest mistake you can make is believing that just because someone desires you, they deserve you. The true test of abundance is not in how much you receive, but in how much you refuse. It is in your ability to say no to what does not serve you. It is in your ability to walk away from attention that seeks to consume rather than uplift. It is in your ability to recognize that your energy is sacred, and not everyone is worthy of experiencing it. This is the shift, chosen one. This is the moment where you move from simply attracting blessings to commanding them with wisdom. This is where you begin to see that your power is not just in what you gain, but in what you protect. Because a man who does not guard his energy will soon find it drained. A man who gives himself too freely will soon be left with nothing. A man who chases the fleeting highs of validation will one day wake up empty, wondering where his true strength went. But a man who receives without attachment, who welcomes abundance without becoming lost in it, who understands that he is the source, not the recipient, of the energy that flows toward him, this is the man who becomes unstoppable. And so, chosen one, as you continue to walk this path, as you continue to watch the world respond to you in ways you once only imagined, remember this: you are not just the receiver of blessings. You are the one who defines what those blessings mean. And when you hold that truth within you, when you remind yourself that no amount of external validation can replace the internal foundation you have built, you will never again be controlled by what comes to you. Because you are the one who decides what is worth keeping, what is worth elevating, and what is best left behind. Chosen one, now that you have learned how to receive without losing yourself, now that you have understood that abundance is not about how much you take, but about how much you refine, now that you have become selective with your energy, it is time to step into the most powerful lesson of all: the art of holding your energy. Because the rarest thing in this world is a man who is not desperate to give himself away. Most men, when they experience attraction, when they feel the pull of desire, when they recognize their ability to command attention, immediately give themselves to it. They rush toward every opportunity. They indulge in every interaction. They allow their energy to be scattered in all directions. But you, chosen one, must move differently. You must understand that the greatest power does not come from what you expend, but from what you withhold. Because energy is like fire. When contained, it burns with intensity. When scattered, it loses its power. The man who gives his presence to everyone is soon forgotten. But the man who is selective, who holds his energy, who does not rush to give himself away to anything or anyone that demands his attention, this is the man who becomes irreplaceable. Because what is rare is valued. What is difficult to attain is pursued. What is not easily given is respected. When you hold your energy, when you move through the world with deliberate restraint, when you do not feel the need to always respond, to always be available, to always prove your worth, something incredible happens. Women begin to feel your presence more intensely. They begin to crave what is not immediately given. They begin to sense that your time, your attention, your very presence is something sacred, something valuable, something that is not granted lightly. And this, chosen one, is the highest level of attraction. Because attraction is not about how much you do, it is about how much they feel in the absence of your effort. When a man does not rush to seek attention, attention comes to him. When a man does not chase validation, validation finds him. When a man is not eager to prove himself, the world begins to prove itself to him. This is why the most powerful men in history were not those who constantly tried to be seen. They were the ones who allowed their presence to speak for itself. They did not need to explain. They did not need to beg for recognition. They simply were. And the world adjusted to them. You, chosen one, must step into this level of power. You must understand that your energy is not something to be given away freely. You must become a man who chooses where his energy flows, rather than allowing the world to pull him in every direction. Because when you hold your energy, when you do not waste it, when you do not spread it thin, it begins to accumulate within you like a force beyond measure. Your presence becomes heavier, deeper, more profound. People do not just notice you, they feel you. Women do not just admire you, they respect you. You become a man who does not just exist in a moment, but a man who creates lasting impact, who leaves behind a presence that lingers in the minds and hearts of those who cross his path. And this, chosen one, is the final truth. It is not about how much you attract. It is about how much you hold. It is not about how much you gain. It is about how much you protect. It is not about proving your worth. It is about knowing your worth so deeply that the world has no choice but to recognize it. And when you step into this level of mastery, you will no longer just be a man who is blessed with abundance. You will be a man who controls the very flow of abundance itself. Chosen one, now that you have embraced the art of receiving without losing yourself, now that you understand the power of holding your energy instead of scattering it, you must now step into the next phase of mastery, the discipline of abundance. For what good is power if it is not harnessed? What good is influence if it is wasted on the unworthy? What good is abundance if it leads to indulgence rather than growth? The truth is, abundance can be both a blessing and a curse, depending on the man who wields it. Many who step into their power become consumed by it. They lose control. mistaking the attention they receive for validation, mistaking the ease with which they attract for a license to be careless. They revel in their ability to command a room, to captivate women, to draw people in without effort. But in doing so, they fall into the trap of excess. And excess, chosen one, is the downfall of many. Because when a man allows abundance to control him, he forgets the very thing that made him powerful in the first place: his discipline. The discipline of abundance is knowing that just because something is available to you does not mean it is meant for you. It is having the wisdom to discern which opportunities align with your path and which are mere distractions. It is having the self-control to say no, to walk away, to withhold your energy, even when the temptation to indulge is overwhelming. It is easy to be disciplined when options are scarce, but true discipline is tested when everything is at your fingertips. This is why many men crumble when they reach this level. They are not prepared for what abundance demands of them. They become drunk on their own power, blinded by the attention, seduced by the endless flow of opportunities. And in their indulgence, they lose the sharpness that made them different in the first place. But you, chosen one, must move differently. You must understand that true mastery is not in how much you can take, but in how much you can restrain yourself from taking. A man of discipline does not waste his time on meaningless pursuits. He does not allow himself to be consumed by the illusion that pleasure is power. He understands that every moment, every interaction, every relationship must serve a higher purpose. Either it elevates him or it has no place in his world. Women will test this. They will seek to know if you are like the others, if you are a man whose energy can be easily swayed, if you are someone who falls into the same traps that ensnare lesser men. But when they see that you do not chase, that you do not bend, that you do not allow abundance to dilute your focus, they will feel something they have never felt before: the presence of a man who is in full control of himself. And that, chosen one, is the most intoxicating presence of all. Because in a world where most men are ruled by their desires, where they are quick to act on impulse, where they are controlled by the need for validation, you stand apart. You are a man who does not just have abundance, you command it. You are a man who does not just receive blessings, you direct them with precision. You are a man who does not just attract effortlessly, you choose who is allowed to experience you. This is the discipline of abundance. This is what separates those who are merely fortunate from those who are truly great. Chosen one, now that you have mastered the discipline of abundance, now that you have proven to yourself that you can receive without being consumed, now that you have shown restraint where others would have fallen into excess, it is time to step into your final test, the creation of an unshakable presence. Because in the end, it is not attraction alone that makes a man powerful. It is not how many people admire him. It is not how many women desire him. It is not how easily opportunities fall into his lap. The greatest power is not in how much attention you receive. The greatest power is in how unaffected you remain by all of it. Most men, when they begin to receive this level of attraction, change. They allow the validation to feed their ego. They become attached to the feeling of being desired, to the endless flow of attention, to the ease with which people respond to their presence. But the moment you need validation is the moment you lose your power. An unshakable man does not move based on external approval. He does not let his confidence depend on how many people admire him. He does not allow his sense of self to be dictated by how others respond to him. Because he knows that his power is internal. A woman's desire does not make him valuable. He was valuable before she ever looked his way. An opportunity does not make him powerful. He was powerful before the opportunity appeared. A room full of admiration does not define him. He defined himself long before the world took notice. And this, chosen one, is what it means to have an unshakable presence. It means walking into any room, knowing that whether you are celebrated or ignored, whether you are desired or dismissed, whether you are admired or overlooked, you remain the same. You are not moved by external forces. You do not seek approval. You do not need anything. Because the truth is, the moment you reach a place where nothing outside of you can influence your internal state, you become the most powerful man in any room. Because women do not just want a man who is attractive. They want a man who is grounded, unshakable, immovable in his self-certainty. They want a man who does not react, who does not chase, who does not fall apart when things do not go his way. Because that, chosen one, is the rarest man of all. The man who is so complete within himself that nothing can shake him. The man who can experience abundance and not become addicted to it. The man who can receive admiration and still remain humble. The man who can lose everything and still stand tall, because he knows that his power was never external, it was always within. And when you reach this level, when you cultivate a presence that is so deeply rooted in self-mastery, when you are so completely unshaken by the opinions, desires, and reactions of others, you become something that is no longer just attractive. You become something legendary. Because now, you are not a man who is merely blessed with abundance. You are a man who creates abundance wherever he stands. And that, chosen one, is the highest level of power there is. Chosen one, now that you have cultivated an unshakable presence, now that you understand your ability to receive without being consumed, now that you have mastered the discipline of abundance, it is time to go beyond personal attraction and step into the realm of influence. The ability to reshape reality itself. Because the energy you carry is not merely about pulling people toward you. It is about shifting the way they see themselves in your presence. It is about altering the way they think, the way they feel, the way they move when you are near. Your high sexual energy is not just a magnet for attraction. It is a force that shapes the world around you. Most men believe attraction is something shallow, something temporary, something that exists in fleeting moments. But you, chosen one, are learning that true attraction is not about making someone look at you. It is about making them feel something so deep, so visceral, so undeniable, that they cannot forget you even when you are gone. This is where your power transcends the superficial. Because people do not remember words. They do not remember appearances. They do not remember what someone wore or the exact conversations they had. What they remember, what lingers long after you have left the room, is how you made them feel. A woman who meets an ordinary man may enjoy his presence in the moment, but she will move on. She will continue her life unaffected, unshaken, unchanged. But when she meets you, chosen one, she will feel something different. Something undeniable. She will feel the way your energy fills the air like electricity, the way your presence makes her aware of herself in a way she has never been before. She will feel more feminine, more alive, more in tune with her own energy, not because you told her to feel this way, but because your energy commands it. This is what separates you from the many. Your presence does not just entertain, it transforms. Your energy does not just attract, it awakens something dormant in others. Your sexual energy, when fully owned and directed with mastery, does not just pull people toward you, it creates an experience that shifts their reality. This is why people begin to seek you out. Not just because they want to be around you, but because you make them feel something that no one else does. You become a portal to a different experience of themselves, one that is richer, deeper, more alive. This is why women become deeply drawn to you without understanding why. This is why your presence lingers in their minds, why they replay your conversations, why they look for traces of you in others but never find them. Because you, chosen one, are no longer just another man. You are an experience, a shift, a presence that redefines reality itself. Chosen one, now that you have mastered the ability to reshape reality with your presence, now that you understand that attraction is no longer something you seek but something you naturally create, you must now embrace the final stage, the transition from chasing to being pursued. Because true power is never in pursuit. True power is in being the force that others cannot resist seeking. Most men live in a state of chasing. They chase success, they chase validation, they chase women, they chase attention, believing that if they run fast enough, if they try hard enough, if they become impressive enough, the world will finally recognize them. But chasing is a sign of lack. It is a declaration that you do not already possess what you seek. It is an unspoken admission that you need something outside of yourself to be complete. And that, chosen one, is what makes most men forgettable. Because neediness is repellent. A man who chases a woman signals to her that she holds the power. A man who needs validation reveals that his worth is dependent on external approval. A man who is desperate to be noticed shows that he does not yet believe in his own significance. But you, chosen one, no longer live in that reality, because you have already become the man who does not need to seek. You have cultivated a presence so powerful, an energy so potent, an aura so magnetic that the dynamic has now shifted. Now it is you who is being pursued. Now it is others who seek your presence, your attention, your validation. Now women do not just desire you, they compete for the privilege of being chosen by you. This is the highest level of mastery. Because when you stop chasing, when you stop needing, when you stop searching for something outside of yourself, you create space for the right people, the right opportunities, the right experiences to flow towards you effortlessly. And they will. Women will notice that you do not seek them, yet your energy draws them in more than any man who tries to impress them. They will feel your presence before you even acknowledge them. They will sense your self-sufficiency, your completeness, your detachment from needing anything from them. And in that detachment, their own desire for you will intensify. This is what most men never understand. Women do not desire a man who is available to everyone. They desire a man who is valuable enough to be pursued. A man who chooses selectively. A man whose attention is a privilege, not a given. A man who is so deeply satisfied within himself that his presence is a prize, a gift, a rare experience that cannot be replicated. This is why women fall deeply for a man who does not chase. Because in his refusal to seek validation, in his ability to remain composed, in his quiet confidence, he communicates a level of worth that does not need to be explained. And when you embody this fully, when you move through the world knowing that you are the prize, you will find that you no longer need to do anything for attraction to happen. It will happen on its own. Women will seek your attention before you have even noticed them. They will make excuses to be near you, to initiate conversations, to find reasons to linger in your presence. They will wonder why they cannot stop thinking about you, why your energy feels different, why their usual games do not work on you, and in that confusion, their desire will grow. Because now, chosen one, you are no longer a man who hopes to be wanted. You are a man who is sought after. And that, more than anything else, is the highest level of power you can attain. Because when you are being pursued, when your presence is valued, when people seek to prove themselves to you rather than the other way around, you have stepped into a reality that few will ever know. You have become the gravitational force that pulls everything towards you without effort. You have stopped seeking, and in doing so, you have allowed everything meant for you to arrive on its own. And that, chosen one, is where your true power begins. Chosen one, now that you have mastered the power of being pursued, now that your energy has reached the level where attraction is no longer a pursuit, but an inevitability, now that you understand that it is not the man who chases, but the man who is sought after that holds the true power, you must now step into the rarest level of mastery, the presence that commands devotion. Because attraction alone is not enough. Many men can be attractive, many can be desired, many can even experience what it means to be pursued. But very few will ever know what it means to inspire devotion, to be the man that women do not just want, but refuse to let go of, the man who lingers in their thoughts, the man whose absence is felt just as deeply as his presence. This, chosen one, is the final transformation, from being wanted in the moment to being irreplaceable. Most men live in fear of losing attention. They seek to keep attraction alive through effort, through pleasing, through trying to maintain the interest of those who admire them. But a man who commands devotion does not try to keep anything, because he knows that what is truly his will never need to be held on to. He does not fear loss, because he understands his worth so deeply that he knows anyone who walks away from him is simply making space for something greater. And that certainty, that absolute knowing of his own value, is what makes him unforgettable. Women do not devote themselves to a man because of his looks alone. They do not devote themselves to a man because of the words he says or the actions he takes. They devote themselves to a man because he makes them feel something that no one else does. And what is that feeling? It is the feeling of being in the presence of a man who is complete within himself. a man who is not swayed by emotion, a man who does not need to prove himself, a man who does not seek validation, a man who moves with such unshakable confidence, such deep internal certainty, such effortless command over his own energy that being near him feels like stepping into another reality. Women devote themselves to a man who does not just make them feel attracted, but makes them feel safe in his presence. Safe in the sense that he will never seek to control them. Safe in the sense that he will never need anything from them. Safe in the sense that his love is a choice, not a dependency. They devote themselves to a man who never asks to be prioritized, yet is always placed above the rest.